As the car rolled slowly along the empty road, tension hung in the air like a dense fog, heralding the family picnic like an ominous prelude. Seated in the back seat, I watched the landscape flicker past the window, my excitement mingling with an inexplicable sense of unease. We were heading to a remote spot in the woods, where the trees stood tall and ancient, whispering secrets to those who dared to listen. Suddenly, a figure flashed by my window, fleeting yet horribly distinct. It was a monstrous creature, its features twisted into a sinister grin, its eyes gleaming with malice. I gasped and pressed my face against the glass, my heart pounding in my chest. "Dad, look," I shouted, but when he glanced back, there was only an empty road. "It's just your imagination, son," my father reassured me, his voice tense. But I knew what I had seen was real, etched into my memory like a recurring nightmare, refusing to fade away. We arrived at the picnic spot, the sun casting long shadows across the clearing. Deciding to shake off my unease, I followed my father into the woods to gather firewood for the evening bonfire. But as we ventured deeper into the forest, a sense of dread washed over me, gripping me like a vice. And then I saw it again. The creature emerged from the shadows, its sinuous figure illuminated by rays of sunlight filtering through the trees. It fixed its gaze on me, a ravenous hunger glinting in its eyes. Panic seized my body, icy tendrils coiling around me, and I turned to run. "Son, what's wrong?" My father's voice echoed through the trees, but I didn't stop to answer. I ran as if my life depended on it, the monstrous presence hot on my heels. My lungs burned with effort, my heart pounding in my ears like a drumbeat heralding imminent doom. I ran. It seemed like an eternity, each step heavier than the last, until finally, my strength gave out. I stumbled and fell, the world spinning around me, and darkness consumed my consciousness. When I came to, my father stood over me, his face a mask of concern and bewilderment. "What happened, son?" he asked, helping me to my feet. I tried to explain, to tell him about the creature that had pursued me, but the words caught in my throat. I knew he wouldn't believe my story, just like before. "It's nothing, just a dizzy spell," I forced out, trying to bury my fear beneath a veil of lies. But even to my own ears, my explanation sounded hollow and senseless. It took my father some time to calm down, and he suggested we return to the picnic. I agreed, though every fiber of my being screamed for us to leave, to put this forest far behind us. For the rest of the day, I felt my father's strange glances, but he didn't broach the subject of my confession. We sat around the campfire, chatting with family, but in my mind there was only one thought: I would never set foot in that forest again. The picnic came to an end, and we returned home, but the shadow of fear I had encountered in those woods lingered with us. I tried not to think about it, to simply ignore and forget, but every time I closed my eyes, I saw those eyes, gleaming in the darkness of the forest. Life went on, but I never visited that forest again. I knew there was something sinister there, something that defied rational explanation. And even now, as I stare into the darkness, I feel the piercing gaze of that creature, reminding me that there are things in this world we cannot understand or control,